Robin, are we live? Are we live?
Jamie, we are live to the show that nobody asked for.
Here we are. Welcome to the show that nobody asked for.
It's really true. Like, absolutely nobody asked for the show. And we made a theme song. We made a video for the theme song. We've invited guests. And yet nobody asked for this show.
Not even ourselves asked for it, to be quite honest.
To be true, that is true.
Yeah, let us know you're here, you guys.
Do you think it's time to start a theme song? I think it is.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
Song that is not yet finished.
Exactly. Here we go.
It's the show that nobody asked for, the only reason that we shower. If these ovaries could talk is live right now.
Jamie, we did it. We played the theme song. Now let's see. Now the thing is, could I remove it from the stream? And I did it.
Is anybody who's here? Who's here? Macy. Hi, Macy. That's a cute pic. Macy.
It is. Welcome to the show that nobody asked for. So, Jamie, let's talk. The first thing we need to talk about is that our podcast is back on Monday.
We're coming back, guys. We are back, bitches.
And we have been gone for Jamie's mom's here.
Hi, Mom.
Always up. Oh, and my sister is here. All the family is here. Look at this.
They always show up. Look at you guys.
So we are back on Monday. We were off for 5 weeks, which was very exciting.
Long time. It felt like a long time.
See, no, it didn't feel like a long time to me, but 5 weeks. And on top of 5 weeks, we have Michelle Buteau, comedian, actress, who is going to be our kickoff to season 6 on Monday.
Yep, she's our and it's our first straight ally episode, really.
Yes, and you literally cannot turn on Netflix right now without seeing Michelle Buteau.
Hilarious. Listen, we didn't stop laughing the entire interview. Bianca, hi.
We did not. My face hurt. She was so funny. And that woman went through 6 years of infertility all the way up to surrogacy. And then took her surrogacy fight to the New York State government saying, hey, we need surrogacy to be legal in New York State.
Oh my God, you guys, it's a really good episode. And she had a brain tumor. So there's
Oh my God, she had a brain tumor. She had a brain tumor. They were like, either you can't get pregnant because of this or you have a brain tumor. And she's like, of course she had the brain tumor.
It's really, yeah. So there was still no answer for
no why, but something about the brain tumor was stopping her body. It was rejecting the baby in essence, because she had a ton of miscarriages.
Yeah, poor Michelle. It was tough, but she's good now. She's great. And you guys have to listen to the episode because it's really fun. It's a good episode.
Yeah, I mean, what we just said sounds really dark, but it's not at all dark. It's a hilarious episode. Like, she just, hi, Julie. She literally makes all of this, and she just reminds me of, you never know what someone's going through.
Right.
You know?
True that. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
So we have one hot topic that we're going to talk about. It's called Jamie's honesty moment before we get into our guest, who's amazing. You can't wait for you to meet our guest. But
no, you guys ever have I'm in a rut. I got in a rut, and Robin was witness to my rut. Do you ever have, and tell me if you have this, do you ever get your periods are fine, and then all of a sudden you get hit like this crazy hormonal period that just knocks you out and does all kinds of weird things to your body and goes crazy on you? Let me know, because that's happening to me. And with COVID on top of it and being with my kids all day and trying to get work done, I had a moment yesterday. Robin and I were trying to
by the way, just to set the stage a little bit, it was only 9:30. So we were set up to record and to do this brainstorming for this thing we have to do. And I as soon as I turned it on, I was like, oh, she's not okay. I was like, she's not okay. And she was like, I've already been crying. I was like, it's 9:30.
And kids are coming in and out. I'm screaming at them across the way. Anne is doing something behind me. And I'm like, guys, I told you, everybody, I have to record. I just want to record, and I had already cried. And then of course, Robin's like, oh, Mama, it's going to be okay. And so then I start crying again.
I was like, I'm sorry I'm making you cry.
But I just had this really vulnerable moment, and I think so many of us are feeling this way, and I feel so stuck because of COVID. Yeah. See, Julie, thank you. A bad period or a bad moment. It's all the same.
Probably all of the above.
All of the above. It's just we're all like COVID is really killing the buzz.
Well, there, you know what it is at least in my not educated opinion, is that there's no way out.
No.
Like you can't just like send the kids to school for a break. You can't. It is like Groundhog Day, and it was like cute. It was less cute. It was really bad. It started to get better, and then it was really bad all over again. And it's like
now we're going back. Now we're going back to school, and like there's a possibility that this is gonna get bad again, and I'm really scared of that. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Macy, thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'm feeling the same thing with the back to school. Like I'm trying to tell myself like, oh, they're doing live learning. Maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe it won't be so awful. But the reality is like I'm afraid of what's coming. And that's next week.
I think that's affecting me, and like, and I just like even if you want to like change up the day and do something different because I was with the kids all morning. I'm with the kids mostly because my wife has meetings all day long, right? Which is I signed up for this. Like I am a mom.
We all have our roles.
Right. So, but even like today I was like, all right, well, let's try to do something different. There's nowhere else to
try to do something different. I'm going to go to a different tiny park near my house.
That's what I was thinking. I'm going to go to a different park, but I couldn't find a better one to go to. So we ended up at the same park, and the kids are even like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to play. Don't make me play. And it's like,
Now my kids are a little bit older, and I send them out for 90-minute increments, and they are required to leave the house, and they cannot come back. And they know better than to call. But yesterday they called at about 50 minutes, and they were like, please don't say no until I've spoken. I was like, okay. And they were like, I know. It's a common theme. They're like, it's very clammy out here. Henry has a broken arm because my son did break his arm on Monday. Henry has a broken arm, and there's really not a lot we can do. Can we come home a little bit early? And I was like, I will allow 1 hour and 15 minutes. And they were like, thank you. Thanks so much. She said 1 hour and 15 minutes. And then Henry goes, I'm going to clamshell hang up on you. Which is this because
he has a thing.
Yeah, because we wouldn't get my daughter a smartphone, but we got her like one of those old school like clamshell phones. Flip phone. And so he clamshell closed it.
That's hilarious. But I wanted to bring this up too, because hi Rebecca. Wish you could say. Oh, I like that mask.
I love how she comes in on her. I love how she comes in on her breaks. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, you're a trooper, Rebecca. I wanted to bring this up because I'm trying to, in order to get myself out of this rut that I just can't seem to get out of, I'm trying what Brene Brown says to do. Anybody listen to Brene Brown? Everybody's been telling me to, and I finally just listened. I always smile when listening to the podcast. It makes any bad. Oh, maybe I should. Here's a name. Is it Stein?
I bet it's Christensen. We're gonna need some help on that. Everybody knows we can't pronounce names. Our guest who's coming in, I asked her how to pronounce her last name, and then I was like, probably not going to use it.
We're going to use it because I have it in my head.
All right, finish your thing, so we're going to bring our guest in.
So Brene Brown said to get out of ruts or whatever. This is not really what she said. I'm not sure how she said it, but basically practice gratitude. So I'm trying to practice gratitude. So when Robin and I got in this thing today, I said, Robin, I just want to thank you.
I was like,
I want to thank you for being so understanding yesterday. I'm trying to be grateful for my kid, the everyday moments of my kids. I'm doing my best to be as grateful as I can, and that's hard to do. You ever try to do that?
It's not easy because I find I keep like regurgitating the same gratefulness, and then they lose their like potency.
I find that
and then I start getting like weird things like I'm grateful for grass, and it's like.
That's what I mean. I find that I'm just like, I'm grateful. I'm fucking grateful. I'm grateful. Like trying to,
I'm grateful for frozen margaritas.
That's what I'm grateful for.
I'm going to be, in about an hour, I'm going to be grateful for that.
That's all right. The thing though, you get in this cycle. We're in this cycle. The kids are driving me crazy. That wine, I'm like, yes, thank you. Give me a wine. And then it's a cycle. It's the same cycle. And then every morning I'm like, oh, why did I have wine last night? I didn't need wine last night.
I'm going to have less wine today. Less wine.
Groundhog Day.
All right. Well, let's do this. Anyway. Look, for gratitude, I'm grateful that we have an amazing guest named Rebecca. She is from
Hochreiter.
Jamie did it. And she is from GoStork, and we cannot wait to bring her in here so that you can hear all the good things she has to say.
Hi. Rebecca. We're grateful.
I'm grateful to be here too.
I should also say Rebecca is the chief marketing officer for GoStork. So she has like a hoity-toity job at this new company. But what we're going to do for the first time, what we haven't done is we are going to bring in the 30-second elevator pitch timer.
And that is the actual timer we use during the episodes, guys. That is the actual timer. So
this is exactly how we do it. We panic the guests by putting it up to the thing. So I'm gonna give you an on your mark and set go, Rebecca, and then you're gonna lean in. Are you ready?
Okay.
Your mark?
I was gonna say I love that I think Rosie O'Donnell told you to bring in the timer. So I don't know. I'm nervous, but I'll give it a shot.
You got this. You got this. Ready? Go.
Okay, so this probably comes as a shock to no one, but life is crazy right now. I have a family of 4 plus a large dog. It feels like 24 in quarantine. 4-year-old daughter Harper, who's getting stronger and more stubborn and more clever every day. 1-ish-year-old son named Sawyer, who's the most adorable tiny person, but his nicknames range between Tyrannosaurus Rex and Sawyer the Destroyer, depending on the situation. When I need a break, I'm grateful for podcasts like you guys, but anything from like news to politics to like Bravo BS and Housewives recaps. And I really love my family though. I don't always need a break.
Nailed it. 38 seconds.
You got a lot in there, Rebecca.
You really did. Did you pre-plan? Because you seem like you're a planner.
I'm kind of a planner, and my daughter did choose which are her favorite nicknames for her baby brother.
Okay.
Those are good nicknames. My daughter just named our
He's a little, if boys are so different than girls, he's just always like everywhere, knocking things over, throwing things. Well, you know, that's the second he started walking during quarantine.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, we don't want to talk about gender roles, but they do exist for a reason. Like my 2 kids were exactly right out of the gate. Oh, I'm supposed to be in the comments. I'm sorry. I'm slacking in my job here. Jamie's mom is grateful. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's delve in a little bit and let's talk about you, because we talked about Michelle Buteau as an ally. You are also an ally, and I always say, Jamie and I talk about this a lot, that like straight women who have fertility issues, I think they really kind of are the closest to the LGBTQ network when it comes to trying to like make a family. And so I feel like you get us.
You get us. I mean, you know, like you don't get the whole, you know, woman to woman thing, but you get us.
Whoa, Jamie. Whoa.
Although I don't know what you did in college. I don't, you know what
I mean? So I did start. I don't know what I did in college either.
I mean, that's the late night version of this live stream.
the craziest thing I've ever said. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I did start a little bit later. You know, there's a lot of us in New York who are real career women, and it takes a while to really find your person. Sometimes you end up starting to have children in your late 30s, which, you know, I was past 35. So I started with a precondition of AMA, which is lovely. I'm like, advanced maternal age. I feel young, but okay. I did have some bumps in the road. You know, I at least one miscarriage. You know how sometimes you're not totally sure, probably a second one. And I was really nervous. My husband's 5 years younger than me. And I knew I wanted to be a mother since I was little, whether I also wanted to be a ballerina or a sportscaster or in marketing or whatever else I wanted to do. I always knew I wanted to be a mother. And, you know, I did get very lucky in that I had a beautiful daughter, and, you know, it was a little bit harder with my second one. I had a much harder pregnancy, a much harder situation with when he came very early and we ended up in the NICU. I was going to the doctor almost every week of the pregnancy, just to make sure everything was okay. So it was really stressful, but of course it's all worth it. It's, you know, you go through the trauma and you just kind of survive and go into survival mode, mom mode, whatever you want to call it, fight through the fog in the mom brain and just make it there, you know?
Yeah. You forget all about it in the end too. Well, you don't forget it, but it lessens after it's all done.
It moves behind you. It moves behind you.
Yeah.
It does. I think it does, but at the same time, it feels so good. I think only NICU parents, it's like such a specific experience. And I think I get, you know, people say that sometimes with the second child, it's a little bit easier and you're less afraid of everything, but I feel like I'm so much more afraid of everything with him because I saw him being this tiny little baby in the isolate attached to a ton of wires for a month every, I lived there every day and just pumped and stayed up all night pumping and went to the hospital every day. And it's just something that really sticks with you. And it's just such a different experience, but he's doing amazing now. So I'm just incredibly lucky.
Oh, wow. Yeah. My cousin's daughter was premature. She was in there for a month as well. And here's a good story for you. When she was going to visit her daughter one day in the NICU, she gets on the elevator and Rosie O'Donnell is on the elevator. I don't know why Rosie just keeps popping up into this interview. Rosie O'Donnell was in there and she asked my cousin, she said, is your baby in the NICU? And yes, she's in there. She was a month early. And Rosie said, don't worry, my son was in the NICU and he's 6 feet tall now. And then she left. But it's like a really sweet, Rosie just keeps popping up into our life.
Because she is really sweet.
She really does.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing when people tell you those success stories. Like, I think sometimes when you're going through other things in life, you don't want people just telling you, oh, it's going to be okay because you're not sure. But with NICU stuff, it's like anyone who ever went through it, I wanted to hear how it turned out. Because And my husband's 6'3", so I do hope maybe Sora will end up being 60. So we have a good chance.
He's got a better chance than my son, that's for sure.
I mean, that is for damn sure. Jamie's 5 feet tall, and the donor wasn't that tall either, right?
He's 5'10".
Oh, all right. Well, he's got a chance.
You can't get a donor under like 5'10".
It's hard to get a short donor.
It's a weird thing.
You can choose how tall your donor is too when you go through the selection process.
Yeah, as long as you can get one. I wanted a short one. I couldn't get one.
Well, that's like a good transition. Let's talk about GoStork. And anybody who has questions, please drop them in the comments.
Yeah, explain what it is first. Firstly.
Sure. So GoStork, we launched about just 10 weeks ago. We already have hundreds and hundreds of parents using our platform, which we're so excited about. We're essentially the first marketplace in the fertility industry. So we're the only place where intended parents can find, compare, and connect with top fertility providers across the U.S. So it really saves people a ton of time, research, confusion. When you're kind of entering into this journey, it can be really overwhelming to just go to Google. All the information out there, it's different on every website. You have to make a ton of phone calls to find out, what the next steps in your roadmap look like. How much does it cost? How do you screen your carrier? How do you choose the right egg donor for you? There's just so many questions and so much information out there to make sense of. And we've really innovated the marketplace, brought data aggregation. We bring all of the providers into one platform. We have a really cool comparison tool where you can compare side by side, choose your favorites, connect with them directly. And it really takes what could take months of research and phone calls and creating your own spreadsheets and manual stuff. And you can get there in 5 or 10 minutes of a really streamlined process on one platform. Just really user friendly, and it's really created with intended parents in mind by an intended parent.
Can we break this down for just like let's just break this down for like, I'm Sally, I live in Ohio. All of my theoreticals.
And you're gay.
And I'm gay. Or I'm whatever, yes. And I live in Ohio, and you said all of the providers are on there. What providers are you referring to?
So I'm talking about, for now, egg donors and surrogacy agencies, and we're launching IVF clinics very soon, so we're really excited about that. So just for example, egg donor agencies across the country tend to have maybe 50 to 200 egg donors in their database. If you're really selective, say you want someone with a postgraduate degree or someone who's tall or someone who's maybe your same race or religion, any criteria is really valid. You might have to go to 2 or 3 agencies before you find the one for you. And we have almost 6,000 egg donors in our database from many, many different agencies. So when you put in your criteria, say you want someone who's 5'10" and blonde and has a college degree and all these things, you get to see your results from many different agencies in one place. And then you can click which one you like, compare them side by side, and just say, I'm interested in this one. And we let the agency know, and they reach out to you. So you don't have to make a ton of phone calls, do a lot of different research. And for surrogacy agencies as well, we have almost 40 of the top surrogacy agencies in the U.S. on our platform, and more joining every day. It started out where our founder was calling them, trying to tell them about GoStork and get them to join, and now they're, trying to join us. And we publish their prices, so no one publishes prices online. We truly are bringing transparency to the industry, so you can go on our platform, see all these agencies in one place, their history, when they were founded, how many babies have been born through their support, how they screen their carriers, all their services, and all their prices, line items. So you just don't have surprises down the road. And when you click to compare them, in like 2 seconds, you have the spreadsheet that could have, spent a month to create. And you can even just click on their calendar and make an appointment with them. We're integrated with all their calendars like ZocDoc, and you're on their calendar for your consultation within just a couple minutes.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
Would you guys ever venture into sperm donors and doing that for sperm donor? Because there's a lot of them out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of big plans to come across the fertility industry, so stay tuned. I think it's based on the platform that I'd love to tell you about our founder, but he created this platform and technology that can be transformed into many different, uses throughout the industry to really support many different providers and intended parents. And again, it's totally free for intended parents to use. It's just a free service. Our founder was an intended parent himself a few years ago, as a gay, at the time, single man who all he knew was he always wanted to be a father, but didn't really know where to start. So he spent months and months and countless hours just researching, calling, trying to make sense of all the information across the ecosystem. And he now has a 2-year-old daughter, Ariel. She's so cute. She's our co-founder. And right around her 1-year-old birthday, he also, the day before her birthday, married his now husband and decided to leave his over 20-year career in technology and product and take that skill set to create GoStork for other intended parents, to just give them a free resource to save them a ton of time and confusion and stress to get their journey started. It's just a solution he wished he had, basically.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we have a question from Macy. She says, my wife and I are set to do our first round of IVF next April, and I'm looking for some financial options. So would this be something that she could use for that? Yeah, right?
Yeah, so we don't have a marketplace for financial options yet, but we're talking to a lot of providers about that, and actually just published an article that lists out how to finance your journey. So it lists out types of loans you can take out, grants that are available that you can apply for, gives you suggestions for like crowdfunding and fundraising. Again, it's a really expensive process to go through. Whether you're a straight woman that ends up going through, it's hard to predict. You may go through 1 round of IVF and it works, or you could go through 7. So we definitely have that in mind. Ron will tell you, his amazing daughter, worth every penny, cost him over 180 grand.
Yeah.
So there's solutions out there that we're trying to surface and provide and let people know of all the options, and we'll be doing much more of that in the future. So go to our resources section. There's an article that lists everything out for you.
So something that you mentioned that I don't want to gloss over, I want to highlight because it came up in both of our interviews that we did about surrogacy, is the transparency factor. So when we interviewed Growing Generations, the founder and then a woman who worked there, I remember her telling us really point blank that she was like, didn't want people to go to other places because it's like they make you type in all this information and do all this stuff and like put where you are and all this before they'll even tell you anything about pricing. And the idea that you guys are like making the industry be more transparent, because like sometimes I just want to quote, like I just want to see, and then I want to get into the nitty gritty. But if you're already 50 grand over, I'm not coming to you yet. So it's like, I think that's
one thing that was so important to Ron. He created a template for the pricing. So the second you click on an agency, you see the total journey cost, but you can click into it and see all the fees line items. So you really see what they're taking as their agency fee and what fees go into all the other parts of the process, right? So at first, he was worried as he started this company that these agencies wouldn't be open to doing that. And that was extremely important to him that he had fees in his platform. And he got them all to agree, and Growing Generations is on our platform. And they all put all of their fees upfront into the template that we have, and intended parents, all you have to do is register, and you can see. And when you make your like little spreadsheet in our comparison tool, you just can line up and see your top 5 favorite agencies. This is their total fee journey. This is their agency fee, and all the line items below that, and just compare them in one click.
That's incredible.
Really great. It basically, Robin and I have this term we call gay drafting, where you do whatever the gay couple who did it before you does. So, like, if you have a gay friend couple who went to a certain sperm bank, you just go there because you know that it worked for them and gays were accepted there. But you guys are basically doing the gay drafting for us. We don't have to use our friends anymore.
Yeah, and Iran actually, after, like, he keeps saying countless hours of research, weeks and weeks of working on this, he also told everyone in his life what he was trying to do. And finally, friends of friends of friends of friends or whatever had an agency to recommend to him. And he worked with Surrogacy. He's amazing, and they're on our platform. And we now are trying to create a resource where if you don't know someone who's gone through it, you have all the information you need, and you can also see ratings and reviews from prior intended parents. We have our own system, so we're not just taking their ratings or looking on Google for ratings. We have our own questionnaire that intended parents answer questions on, and it's really catered to what we understand intended parents feel. Like, for example, you hear about situations where an agency treats you really, really well until you sign the contract, and then you feel like maybe I'm being treated like a number, not a person, Yeah. So we have a question that's literally like, did you feel like you were treated like a number or a person? So it's questions that you won't see in other places in our personal rating system.
Yeah.
That's great. I love this. I love this for our community. This is wonderful.
It's just like one of the bits of feedback we get over and over and over again is how overwhelmed people are and how they don't know how to make these choices. And so it's like, if you become a place where people can, do side-by-side comparisons, it's like you're taking a lot of, like you said, the individual work out of, not everybody is a spreadsheet maker. Not everybody's up to that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not everyone loves Excel in their spare time or in their family building. But also, like, we have a live chat where if you go on our live chat, you're talking to our CEO and founder. So he's talking to intended parents all the time, and it's amazing to hear their feedback. Like, I couldn't find an egg donor until I came here because I had 5,000 options. And it's amazing to be a part of a company with a mission like this. Like, I've had kind of a crazy marketing career over 15 years. I've been at publishers and startups and just a lot, but to be a part of a company with a mission like this that's truly helping intended parents is just super meaningful to me as well. I've had a lot of friends go through things. I have family. I mean, I'm a quote unquote a rainbow baby. I think I was always very conscious of what my mom went through. So it's just really meaningful to me to kind of try to help spread the word.
I love it. And now I'm just thinking about my experience with fertility clinics. Like, I switched I had a lot of infertility, and I switched in the middle of it. I switched clinics. And actually, our first clinic, we had to have the initial appointment before we heard any prices. Same.
Yep.
And I was thinking, wait, my second clinic, a big one, a really big, well-known one, like one of the huge ones in the city. They did have, I just shared it on the social because I was just going through old papers. They did have a sheet that itemized all the costs that might be there. But I'm realizing I had to book an appointment and go be checked out by the doctor before I got that sheet.
Yes.
Which is like,
And Jamie, you remember when my story, when Mary and I first started, we were going to do reciprocal IVF. And I was like, I don't want you telling me about all this stuff. I want you to tell me this. And we had to sit there for I was so furious by the time we left the meeting because he was telling me like this, that, and the other. And I was like, I'm still waiting on the information that I asked for. And he was like, oh, when you go talk to the money guy, he'll give you that. Yeah. And I was just like, what you do is just give me like an Ovaries 101 with like weird little like plastic things on your desk. I don't want any of that.
We just want to know how much it's going to cost so we can see if we can do it. I'm thinking of another moment, like the big moment when my wife had our first daughter and we tried a bunch of rounds of IUI, which was covered by our insurance. And then literally mid-cycle, when my wife's legs were in the stirrups, the doctor was like, I think we should switch to IVF. It's not working. Let's switch. And we were like, okay, figuring that since IUI was covered, IVF would be. Go through get all the meds. We're doing the whole process. We go there for the transfer that day. And before we go in for the transfer, they take us into this little office and say, okay, so this is what you owe. And it's $15,000 staring at us. And we were like, whoa, 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 what? Just not up front. Not up front at all. Crazy.
I can't relate exactly, but my NICU bill was shocking.
Oh.
And I know what Iran went through and what, when you go to, even if you go to talk to your HR department, whether it's a really large global company or, a lot of like startups want to advertise that they have all these great benefits as a way to recruit talent. But sometimes it just doesn't apply to everyone. It's like, oh, you're a gay man. You're not like in a straight couple and you're a woman with a medical issue. You don't qualify. So it's really frustrating. But if you know all of your costs up front, you can better, make a more informed decision.
Yeah.
And save where you can.
I just had another question I thought come in my head. Would you do this for insurances too? Like, could you create some kind of because like our problem was that we didn't know what our insurance covered, and calling the insurance and asking, we never really could get answers because it would always be like, well, we've never really been asked that about gay couples and like things like that. We get answers like that. And so that's why we went in this blind and we didn't realize that this wasn't covered by that. And this one could you add like some kind of explanation of the different insurances or something?
I think that's a really great suggestion. So quick background. So I just joined a couple months ago, and like I said, we've been live for about 10 weeks, and like we're just so excited about the warm welcome from the industry and all the intended parents using our platform. And one thing we're also doing is learning as quickly as we can. So we're talking to intended parents, getting feedback. Because we're so small and nimble, we're able to make updates really quickly. Like intended parents were like, I want a video of our egg donor. So we got videos and added them within a week. We're not a big company that the change takes a year. So things like that, feedback like that is exactly what we love to hear. And, maybe we can start talking to insurance companies and find a way to scrape their information and put better explanations all on our website so people can better understand and make decisions. I mean, I don't want to speak for our founder about if that'll be on the roadmap, but stay tuned. We have a lot of exciting things on the roadmap, and there's so much possibility because there's just so many more opportunities to help people. There's so many areas of confusion. And with the base foundation built, like the technology and the idea built, and, with our IP and his expertise, the possibilities are endless. So we love the feedback and for people to tell us what they're looking for.
That's great. Well, there's a couple.
Andrea, yeah, I'm going to come back to Stein's, but.
Oh, legal expertise would be great. Yes.
Yeah, that's big in our community because so many people are like, don't know if they need second parent adoption, don't know what they need, or, that's interesting.
Yeah, we're totally aware. People need, particularly for surrogacy, people need, a lawyer with those expertise. We actually have advisors in that area already. So, these are all things we're absolutely aware of and working on.
I'm putting this one back, but it kind of covers your face, Rebecca. So I was trying to wait till you were done talking there. Sorry. Go ahead, Jamie.
I can't imagine the stress of paying for all the medical procedures. We have universal health care in Denmark.
So jealous.
Do you think the cost keeps some couples from having kids if they have infertility issues? I think yes. Yes. 100%.
I think
That's
so.
So sad.
But I'd say that was why I was interested to hear you say that you are pointing people toward grants and things they could take loans out for. And again, like going back to like, this might be, if let's say you're a young millennial with a lot of student loan debt, just visiting your site might be the thing that sends them to foster care. It might be, they might just be like, oh, I can't, they might be able to change their path without investing 25 grand. So I think it's impressive to have that much, information.
Just to have a bird.
Yeah. And I even remember, we were actually just on a phone call with the amazing founders of IVF Babel. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're global. They're wonderful, created by women who went through infertility themselves in IVF and do support people in their journey, whether it's with information, just support information. What does the process look like? And grants and giveaways. And they actually have been giving away IVF cycles. So it was just amazing to talk to them. We had them covered in our list of options.
How do we
So it's
get,
like
we need to
these
get them-
phone calls, like connecting with people like this, it's amazing. I mean, what better, you know?
Oh my God.
That's incredible.
Somebody had given me an IVF cycle. Are you
Oh my
kidding me?
God. What a
Mhm.
gift that is.
That's like winning the lotto. Better.
Well, is there anything else that is important specifically for the LGBTQ community, or that you think is important that we haven't touched on that people should know about GoStork?
Well, sure. Actually, for the LGBTQ community, so, you know, obviously our founder is gay. We welcome everyone, but we, you know, because he specifically went through the process, I think he also has a certain perspective. And, you know, there's, as you put in the criteria about yourself to be matched with certain providers, you want to make sure that you're matched with an egg donor who would love to or chose to want to work with, you know, potentially LGBTQ couple, with an agency who's very open and welcoming. So we actually make sure in the process, you know, we ask if you're single, because some donors would want to help a single person or would prefer to help couples, things like that. So we just make sure that you don't end up in a situation where it's not the right match. So through the technology, we make sure you're matched properly.
That's
awesome.
Really great, because we joke all the time that the way we choose our fertility clinics is by going to the website and seeing if they have like a rainbow flag on it,
Rainbow up in the corner.
or like a picture of a gay couple. That's what you're really looking for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and then you go into these places and it's really like they really have no experience
Right.
with LGBT.
I mean, that could just be a marketing person who put that on there versus any training that happened for the LGBTQ
Right.
folks.
Yeah. So
and I think that's why it's so important, because Ron is gay and went through the process as an intended parent. He's personally vetting all the providers that come on board. So it's not like Amazon where you go and sign your company up and sell your product. He personally, you know, interviews and talks to and really vets all of the providers. And we would never have someone on the platform that he doesn't think is, you know, really friendly to the community. And then for them to say that they welcome LGBTQ if they don't. So
parenting,
you know, it's a very,
yes. Jamie on the move while you talk. Sorry.
my kids just came home. So.
I saw a cute kid in the background. That was fun.
And my son keeps coming in and being like,
I kicked my family out after we got through those technical issues.
I know. Well, they were out. I thought they were going to stay out. There's my messy closet behind me. Anyway.
Well, I mean, we think what you guys are up to is really amazing, and we hope that we get the opportunity to interview your founder on the podcast. I think we're in talks about that, but like, we just really think what you're doing is wonderful, and we're so appreciative that you took the time to come chat with us today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, and what you guys are doing is amazing too. I love listening to you.
Oh, you stop. You stop. Say it again.
Don't.
Oh, say it again. No, I'm just kidding.
So, Ron can't wait to meet you as well.
Oh, good.
We're looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much, and take care.
Thank you. Thanks, you too.
That was amazing, right?
It was great. People are really getting inclusive in this world. Huh?
I love it. It's just like that is just that app is going to be so helpful for our community. And I know it's for everyone, but I don't care about everybody. I care about our community.
It's not for anybody.
It's for us. Who cares about everybody else?
I also want to say I love this. Oh my God, you hear my child?
Oh wait, I did want to go ahead. You go with that, but I did want to go ahead.
I love that the whole grateful thing. Everybody was putting all these things they were grateful for.
I know.
Thank you for that. And the people with the surgeries, I'm grateful too that everybody came out okay and no cancer. Yay.
Yes, and there was like someone whose mom came out of cancer and we're cancer free. We're so thankful for that. Yeah. But I also wanted to just bring this one up. I love this. That oh wait, this is I put the wrong one up. Stand by. I put the wrong one up. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I love that we have a straight 20-year-old listening to the podcast. First of all, is amazing. And just to show that every family is perfect. I mean, Jamie, I would say I love that you're listening, you're being an ally.
You know what I'm going to say?
What?
Share our podcast with everybody you know.
And share our book.
Give our book out for every gift you ever give.
But in all seriousness, though, like just keep it's the fact that you're open and listening and here and talking about it. That's how you're supporting and being an ally, and we're so thankful.
Very, very. Yeah. I mean, I love this. This was fun. I'm gonna open it up with gratefulness every time.
I think this took you out of your funk a little bit, Jamie.
I think it's actually called gratitude.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
So we
were
want to say, if anybody is interested in our discounts, we've got a little discount for BetterHelp. And Lord knows we just talked at the top of the show about needing some help right now. 10% off your first month at BetterHelp. And the Mira at-home fertility kit, there's a starter kit that you can get $25 off. And that's the codes are on our website on the discounts tab.
In the discounts. Yeah, go get those discounts. I almost signed up for that BetterHelp again.
Oh my God, I know, right?
Get our discount again.
Henry, do you want to come over and show everyone your broken arm on Monday? You want to come and show them while we say goodbye? We're saying goodbye on the live stream. While we say goodbye, just stick your arm in here. This is, and that's our Monday right there.
Oh,
okay.
Man, what a day. What a day.
He's going to keep his little ham hand in there this whole rest of this time. So I'm going to say eggs.
Ovaries.
And out. And thank you, GoStork. Thank you, GoStork.